Hey there, Diane Conklin, Aunt Di, coming to you from Complete Marketing Systems and AuntDi'sDozen.com. We are on episode 10. I always have to look. Episode 10, be persistent and patient. My nieces and nephews, all of them, whether they're the younger ones or the ones that are grown, the ones that are in college, the ones who have their own families, they're persistent. When they get a hold of something they want, they're going to go for it. And I think, again, sometimes the younger ones have less, they're more free, right? They have less constraints. They have less things that hold them back from doing these things. But think about a young child between the ages of maybe 2 and 6. Boy, when they want that toy, when they want that cheeseburger, when they want to, you to go play with them, they're persistent, right? Over and over and over and over. They're just going to wear you down. They're just going to wear you down. And they're patient in their persistence, right? I mean, they don't care how long it takes. They want what they want, and they want to get that thing. And I think sometimes, again, we lose that. It's that childlike wonder of how long will it take for Aunt Di to say, yes, she'll come play with me, right? Not long. How long will it take before I could wear her down and she'll actually give me that candy that I want, that I think is in that cupboard or on the top of that file cabinet or in that drawer, right? How long will it take? How patient do I have to be to until I reach the end of her patience, But it's amazing when you think about how we as adults sometimes give up too soon, right? We try something once or twice, maybe 3 times. Oh, that didn't work. Now, look, I'm not saying beat your head against the wall with stuff, but we're sometimes not as persistent in sales. Sometimes we don't continue to follow up as often as we should, and be persistent and be patient with trying to find another way in, another door, another avenue, another way to overcome another objection that maybe we hadn't thought about, right? How can you be more persistent? What are the things? I'm pretty good at this. When I get a hold of something, when I want something, maybe you're like this. Tell me no. Tell me I can't do something and watch me, right? It's that part of that's pride, right? The P's. But it's persistence. It's I will try a thing until I either make it work or I go find a way to make it work, right? And part of that is being patient. And patience is important in your business. Those two things, I think, persistence and consistency, are big, but persistence and patience kind of go hand in hand. The more patient you are, the longer you might be willing to stick with something. Now, there's a balance in everything, right? You can't keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. If you keep getting the same result, you got to change something, right? You have to do something a little different. Change the headline, change the way your approach, change the angle in, change the person you're talking to. You have to change something. I'm not talking about just doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again and being unsuccessful. That's stupidity, right? That's not what I'm talking about. You get it. Being persistent, continuing to work on that thing, continuing to learn a skill, continue to work on your writing, your speaking, your sales, whatever it is. It's going to take time, and we are sometimes so impatient that we don't give ourselves the time and the energy and the attention that we need in order to get good at something. People say to me sometimes, Zane, you're so good at that, taking a situation and telling you what to say in a sales situation, overcoming an objection, speaking from the platform, writing emails, whatever the thing is. Well, yeah, you make it look so easy. Well, I would hope so after 35 years. I was in the grocery store the other day, earlier this week, and there were 2 phone sales guys. You know how they put them in the grocery stores now? internet and phone and all that, and they were talking amongst themselves after I had told them I was good. And I heard the one guy talk about that he'd been in the position for about 18 months or 2 years, and that he found that he enjoyed sales. And I can't help myself sometimes. So I struck up a conversation with the young gentleman, and we talked about how if you get good at sales, you'll always have a job. There will always be a place. You can always make money in sales, always, if you're good at it. And that's not something that came naturally to me. I was a little resistant to it. And so I developed tools and strategies for myself. I thought of it as overcoming a problem, helping somebody overcome, a challenge or problem solve with them. And that's how I had to start being better at sales. And once I had that attitude and realized that whatever it was I was selling them, I wasn't going to sell them something I didn't honestly believe would help their situation. And so that helped me. Maybe for you it's something different. But persisting and finding that thing and finding a flow, and then continuing to mold and modify and change and adapt as things change, as times change, and as sales change. Sales is one of those evergreen kind of things that doesn't change a lot, but it changes in every situation that you're in based on the person as well, right? So be persistent and be patient at the same time. Be like that 3-year-old. They're going to ask for what they want over and over and over again. They're going to wear you down, right? It's not about that when you get to in business, but it is. It can be that simple. If you need help in learning those lessons and maybe need some strategies for how to be more persistent or how to be more patient, that's one that I still deal with not on a daily as much, but it's still a challenge being patient. If you need some help, reach out, let me know, message me wherever you're seeing this, or send me an email at info@completemarketingsystems.com. Love to have a conversation with you. Be persistent. Be patient. Because Aunt Di said so. If you'd like a copy of all of these, go to AuntDi'sDozen.com. Until next time, make it a great day.